Let me just record lang pala, guys. Sige, thank you, thank you. Thank you for that feedback and thank you for replying, guys. So ito na, sige, let's get it on. Before we start going down the iOS 15 rabbit hole, I want to shift your focus first for a moment and remember the year 2006. Sino na ba yung medyo may, parang buhay na ng mga panahon na to? Not just buhay, pero siguro teenage years mo, or you still remember what you were doing there. Kasi baka infant ka pa nito, so that doesn't count. Sino nga dito? Can you see? Siyempre, magkakaalaman ng edad, di ba? College. Rapson is in college. I think I was in college na. Pag-graduate na ako nito, mga 2007 ako graduate. Yeah, so the time was 2006. So the year was 2006. And that time, Nokia, the Finland-based mobile phone manufacturer, so sa Finland sila, was on top of the world. They've just released this phone, the Nokia N95, pang mayaman yan. So sa pictures ko lang nakikita kasi wala pa akong pambili nun. And they just released what then was called the best mobile phone in the world because they were dominating the market that time. And then, a few months ago, or a few months after nilang i-release, so that was September 2006 when this was released, a few months after, this guy showed up. Si Tito Jobs, Tito Steve, and introduced a funny-looking device that actually took the world by surprise. And in fact, this was well documented. The executives at Nokia, then the biggest, and RIM, R-I-M, if you still remember RIM, Research in Motion. Yung type nga yung product ng RIM, if you know kung ano yung product ng RIM. It's also mobile phone, but what specific phone, if you know? RIM. Not Blueberry, Blackberry. Yeah, BlackBerry, sikat na sikat yun noon. So they were the leading manufacturers, providers of mobile phones then. And their executives, and this was again well documented, didn't take the iPhone seriously. Yeah. And they even went as far as to say na it will not succeed. Siyempre, alam na natin yung ending ng story na to. Now, both Nokia and RIM, Research in Motion, are no longer in the mobile phone business. Actually, Microsoft even purchased the mobile phone segment ni Nokia before around, I think, 2015. But Microsoft was not able to revitalize that market. And eventually, tinigil na nila yung manufacturing ng mobile phones. So now they're just a distant memory. Some of you here, yung mga medyo bata-bata, they don't even know what a Nokia phone looks like or the BlackBerry looks like. Before ng era ng Facebook Messenger, diba, there was BBM or the BlackBerry Messenger. Kasi mahal mag-text nun. Right? And what can we learn from this? Failing to adapt and innovate will kill even the best organizations. Again, these are not just para mga putyo-putyong companies or organizations. These are multi-million organizations around the world. Si Nokia and RIM that time. But even they died because they failed to adapt and innovate. Now, as marketers, we are witnessing the same shift in how, not the same shift, pero a shift in how private data is being handled. And I'm assuming, or I'm guessing, scientific guess, this is just the beginning, right? And failure for us as email marketers, not just email marketers, but marketers in general, failure to adapt and innovate will prove to be a grave mistake in the future, just like what happened to Nokia, to RIM, to Kodak, and a lot of other companies that failed to innovate. And fortunately, we don't even have to be tech geniuses or we don't have to know CEOs ng Silicon Valley companies to have or get insights into what's happening because we just need to look at what the big players are doing. Dati kasi, di ba, when it comes to technology, laging late si Pilipinas. Right? Parang laos na sa ibang bansa, sa West, sa Europe, sa US, laos na dito sa atin. Pauso pa lang. But fortunately, that's no longer the case. We just need to look at what the big players are doing. And right now, one of those big players is Apple, right? And brief mabilis na call. Who among you owns an Apple device? Can you type Apple sa chat? If you own any sort of Apple device like an iPhone, iPad, AirPods, so syempre mag-flex lang tayo konti, no? iPad, iWatch. You have an iPhone, you have your AirPods, you have your MacBook. So, basta yun, if you have other, the whole ecosystem. So marami-rami rin, no? Maraming mayaman dito. Right, so one of the big players, I know you've noticed this is in the tech industry is Apple, right? And let me show you one of their videos regarding privacy, because this will preempt or give us an introduction to this topic now, which is what happened, what's causing all of this stir sa tech industry and sa privacy sector as a whole. Let me show you that video right now. And let me know if medyo hindi siya nag-play. Patype na lang sa chat. But if you can hear it okay, then that's good.
When you're using apps on your iPhone, you may start to see this. It's the new App Tracking Transparency prompt. It's a feature that gives you a choice. A choice on how apps use and share your data. Data like your age, location, health information, spending habits, and your browsing history, to name a few. This data can help to map your runs, tag your photos, or track your location so a nearby store can offer discounts. But some apps have trackers embedded in them that are taking more data than they need, sharing it with third parties like advertisers and data brokers. They collect thousands of pieces of information about you to create a digital profile that they sell to others. These third parties use your profile to target you with ads. And they can also use it to predict and influence your behaviors and decisions. This has been happening without your knowledge or permission. Your information is for sale. You have become the product. That's why iPhone users will now be asked a single, simple question. Allow apps to track you or not? Maybe you're okay giving an app your email or location so they can share your data with others to personalize ads or build a profile about you. And if you're not, well, that's what the prompt is for. Whatever you choose is up to you. But at Apple, we believe that you should have a choice. App Tracking Transparency, a simple new feature that puts your data back in your control.
And so let's start with that backdrop na Apple, one of the biggest players in this industry, is pushing for more privacy. So what's happening? If you're clueless about what's happening, and ano ka lang, parang na FOMO ka lang, everyone is going to the state of the email address meeting I want to go to, and you have no idea, that's okay, because I didn't have any idea before I was an email marketer then, what's happening. That's why I put together this presentation for you guys to help educate first myself, because putting this together helped me understand what's happening even more. And also ikaw rin, diba? If you are serving clients or you're planning to go out there and become an email marketer or a marketer for other people, then it pays to know what's happening globally, especially dito sa mga bagay na that will affect how we conduct our business, which is email marketing. Now, privacy is one of Apple's core values. Apple believes that privacy is a basic human right, and they take it seriously. You can go to their website, check nyo yung ano nila doon, core values. Privacy is one of them. And here are just some of the instances the past year or so that Apple took a stance for privacy, even going as far as refusing government requests mga agencies, para i-breach nila yung customer privacy. You can even visit their website right now and see a report. So they compile a report of all the requests that various governments around the world send them. So I was browsing that report kagabi. No? I saw maraming requests si Russia, China, about information ng may mga may-ari ng Apple phones. So it's very interesting. If you have time, go there, check it out. So this is the backdrop of the latest operating system released by Apple. So tingnan natin, January 2020 was a time when Apple refused the FBI's request, the Federal Bureau of Investigation's request, to unlock iPhones ng mga killers. So let's not talk about the moral implication of that. But dun lang muna tayo sa privacy. So they refused to hack an Apple device because they were afraid that same hack can be used by governments and other malicious people and hack into other devices as well. So that was last year, January 2020. September 2020, almost a year from a year ago, nililinis si iOS 14, and then si iOS 14.5 included yung app tracking transparency that made the lives of Facebook advertisers hell. Do you have Facebook advertisers here? Can you type Facebook na sa chat? So I know we have Facebook peeps here, mga marketers. Wala? Okay. But ayun si Cash Kenneth. But if you ask them that release of the iPhone software made their lives very difficult. At eto na, September 2021, actually today, iOS is releasing the iOS 15 or yung operating system nila for iPhones that implements mail privacy protection. So let's see, ano ba yan? Ang meron dyan. So iOS, if you don't know, stands for iPhone Operating System. It's the software that runs all the iPhones, right? Kung ang mga phones like si Samsung, Huawei, ang software na laman nila ay Android made by Google. Lahat ng iPhones, ang software na nagpapaandar sa kanila ay called iOS or iPhone Operating System. And this is the 15th version of the software, and it releases with a lot of other cool features. Pero syempre, magpo-focus lang tayo dun sa the features that will affect us as email marketers. And those are mail privacy protection and then hide my email. And I'd like also to point out that these features will not be exclusive to the iPhone. I-release din siya sa iPad OS. So if you have an iPad, i-release siya doon. And then also if you use a Mac, marirelease din siya doon. And then another thing to note is that this will only affect you if you use the native mail app. Sabihin, kasi inside, if you have an iPhone, merong specific na app doon na pang basa ng email. Kunwari may Gmail email ka, you use the mail app, enter your credentials there, and then the mail app will get all your messages from Gmail. Doon mo siya babasahin. Okay? Yeah. So, una, mail privacy protection. What does that do, or how will that affect us? I will not go into the technical detail of paano nangyayari to. Only what's its effect sa atin. So, una, mail privacy protection. Open rates will no longer be accurate. We're not saying na mawawala yung open rates because more than half ng mga nagbabasa ng email use Apple, pero the rest will remain the same. So hindi mawawala yung open rates per se, but it will no longer be accurate because if half of your subscribers are using Apple products and they use the Mail app and they enable mail privacy protection, then your open rates will get screwed. Now, some marketers say, sinasabi nila, so what? Right? Open rates are a vanity metric anyway. Vanity metric meaning it's a metric that's not important or a score that's not important. Parang you don't even need to look at it. But I disagree. You know why? Can you type Y sa chat? Para meron tayong konting interaction. Yan. Why? Why do I disagree with that statement na vanity metric lang daw ang open rates? Because open rates indicate, una, engagement. Like one of the ways na mag-engage mo if the people inside your email list is engaging if kapag binubuksan nila emails mo, di ba? Right? So that's one. You can gauge engagement by looking at open rates. Also, when you have good open rates, it also helps you maintain email list health. Kasi kapag nakikita mo na not a lot of people are opening their emails, or you have a segment that sa sunset flow natin, you can see na maraming non-openers, they haven't been opening your emails in the last 6 months or a year, then tatanggalin mo na sila, diba? Isusuppress mo na sila, you will remove them from your list to keep your list healthy. Right? Kasi if you keep sending emails to these people na hindi naman nag-open, hindi naman nag-engage sa'yo, the email providers like si Google, si Yahoo will see that and say, itong mga sinesend na email ni Katami, wala naman nagbabasa. I-block na natin yan si Katami. Itong mga emails ni Alessandra, wala namang nag-engage, wala nagbabasa. People are putting it in spam folder. Itapon na natin yan sa spam. So if you don't have an email open rate, you wouldn't know. Right? Ano pa? A lot of times, you are not in control of the lead generation efforts of a business. Let's say you are supporting a business, an e-commerce business, or you have a client and nag-run sila ng ads, Google ads, Facebook ads. If ang measure mo as their email marketer is sales from emails, of course, that's one of the best ways to measure effectiveness of your efforts, diba? Low quality subscribers will mean little to no sales para sa iyo. Right? If ang mga pumapasok na subscribers, the people who are visiting the website na galing sa ads, Facebook ads, Google ads ng mga ibang tao na nag-run ads for you, ay low quality, ibig sabihin, hindi naman talaga sila targeted, they don't care about your product, pumunta lang sila doon because sinabihan sila na, get a free iPad. Low quality lead. If they keep sending bad leads to you, and ang measure mo is to give sales through emails, paano mo mapoprove na kay client na, well, kaya naman tayo walang sales sa email kasi ang pangit ng leads na pinapadala mo sa akin. Right? How will you prove that if you don't have open rates to look at? Does this make sense, guys? Can you type nga make sense if it does? If not, can you also let me know? This is my view, my opinion. Why open rate is not a vanity metric. Okay. Yeah. So that's one. Yun yung unang maapektuhan ng with the mail privacy protection feature ng iOS 15. Open rates will go haywire. It will not vanish completely, but it will no longer be accurate. Now, second thing na mawawala or maapektuhan ng mail privacy protection feature ni iOS 15 is location-based segmentation. Kasi ibablock na ni Mail app, ni Apple Mail app, ang IP address checking. So, if you use location-based segmentation, let's say, kasi doon sa dati kong client, ang ginagawa namin, sinesegment namin, we don't want to send emails to anyone outside the US because we are only selling to the US. So, diba, even if may mag-subscribe na taga UK, Australia, and other parts of the world, we don't want to sell with them. Sayang lang yung efforts namin sa kanila. So that's location-based. Also, inside Playbill, you can, at least for now, you can target specific states. Sino ba yung mga nakatira sa state na to? Diba? If you use yung smart sending or yung sending based sa time zone ng isang subscriber, diba, you can use that kasi sabihin mo na send this 8 a.m. based on the time zone where the subscriber is. But now, because of mail privacy protection, we would potentially lose that information. Yung location will no longer be accurate then. Kasi sometimes based on the test na ginawa ng mga email marketers, sometimes it will show you a different location than what yung totoo kasi gumagamit ng proxy and VPNs and all that. So, location-based segmentation will no longer be accurate. Now, ano naman ba napapala natin sa location-based tracking, right? Una, compliance with geographic policies. Sino dito yung may mga clients na taga-Europe, European Union, EU? Can you type EU sa chat? If you have clients, si Kicks. Right? Diba sa EU, they have GDPR. Right? So you have to comply. And you have to know na, taga-EU pala tong subscriber ko na to. I need to handle their information more carefully. Right? Meron din si US, meron siyang CCPA. Singapore, meron PDPA. Right? And what if you have different offers for different regions? Let's say global yung company mo. And you only want to, let's say, run a sale sa buong subscriber base mo for people in the US because you're probably celebrating a holiday in the US. So that can potentially go away. Maybe specific states lang, right? Gusto mo, halimbawa, California Day, or magra-run ka ng campaign for that. That can potentially vanish. The location-based segmentation. Yeah. So if that wasn't enough, there's also another iOS 15 feature called Hide My Email. So tapos na tayo sa mail privacy protection. Meron naman Hide My Email. Now, caveat, this is a paid service. Not everyone who uses an Apple device will get this unless they subscribe to iCloud. iCloud storage, I think the cheapest dito sa Pilipinas is 50 pesos for an additional 50 gigabytes of storage. So you need to be subscribed para ma-avail mo tong Hide My Email feature na to. Right? But again, if people are subscribing, the people who have the funds to subscribe to this kind of services are the people that you want, like, right, in your email list. Kasi sila yung may pera. Right? But yeah. Tingnan natin anong mangyayari with Hide My Email. With Hide My Email, Apple can create random temporary email addresses for subscriptions. I know some of you here gumagawa ng separate account, email account, para lang mag-subscribe sa mga newsletter. Does anyone else do that maliban sa akin? Can you type me nga? If you do that, if you have a separate email address, yan. Apple will make it easier for you to do that. Again, if you're subscribed, kasi they can create temporary email address for you for subscribing sa kung ano-ano man. And you don't even need to show your true email address. Diba? If I'm being honest, as a user, gusto ko tong feature na to. But as an email marketer, this is a nightmare. Right? I haven't seen this in action yet. Yung mga nagtitest, they haven't seen this because hindi pa siya fully na-rolled out. But ito yung mga possible na negative consequences ng Hide My Email feature. First, subscribers no longer need to unsubscribe kasi they can just potentially delete the temporary email. Kasi random lang siya eh. It's not even permanent. So, sabihin niya doon sa phone niya or sa iCloud, delete this email address, temporary email address, para hindi na ako maka-receive ng email from this person. Kunwari, ayaw niya na maka-receive ng email from Katami, let's say. He or she can just as easily delete that temporary email address sa loob ng iCloud and poof, wala na. And instead na before, people were at least spending a few seconds to unsubscribe para at least di na sila maka-receive ng email sa iyo, now they can just delete the email. Temporary na nga, dinelete pa. So you don't even know. Right? And of course, your list health will suffer. So, iyak na lang tayong lahat. Ayan. And as of the moment, these two features ng iOS 15 are what will affect email marketers the most. Right? So, hinga muna tayo ng malalim. Let's all give a few moments of silence for the death of email marketing. But before we talk about what to do you want to know what to do? Guys, can you type nga yes if you want to know ano pwedeng gawin? Napaka-negative naman itong presentation na to, but what can we do? Right? Okay. So before we talk about what to do, let me quickly address people who think they are not affected by these changes. Kasi some people will say, "Paki ko dyan, di man ako naka-iPhone." Yung mga subscribers ko are not even using iPhone din. Hindi ako affected dyan. Let me tell you why you are wrong. So after hearing these updates, parang you go, "What? I don't care. I don't even have an iPhone, yo." Why should you care? Pero as an email marketer, you should care. Why? Let me tell you why. Una, you can't deny Apple's influence. Not just the tech sector, but again, dito, privacy is one of the things they are pushing. They are a major force in the industry and the world as a whole. Right? And what happens is other tech companies will soon follow. Like Google, who owns Android and Chrome, Google Chrome. Right? What if they remove email tracking for everyone? Open rate tracking for all. Now that might not happen as drastic because Google and maybe Facebook are earning from advertising, pero we won't know, right? Kasi Apple is Apple. Kaya nga kahit when Mark Zuckerberg were bashing Apple nung nirelease na iOS 14 that affected their advertising revenue, walang pakialam si Apple, di ba? Pakialam ko sa'yo, Mark. I don't care. That's one. Kahit di ka naka-Apple, this will affect you eventually. Then the customers will now demand more. Now that you and I know as customers and other people know about this privacy protection schemes or features, they will demand more, not just from Apple, but from Android, from Microsoft, from all the other tech companies out there. And let me tell you, diba, before iOS 14, people didn't care whether advertisers can follow them around and build like an avatar of them with their own choices. Wala naman silang pakialam, diba? They didn't even know that existed, right? And then before iOS 15, some people don't even know that you can track open rates. They don't even know we have the ability to know whether they have opened an email or not. But now that it's a feature of a major tech company and major product around the world, they will demand more. Are you getting me so far? Okay ba to? Does this make sense? Right? And then, when customers demand more, what will happen? Governments will start regulating and pass laws that will make our lives even more challenging as email marketers or marketers in general. Right? Katulad ng GDPR. Kung nagkaroon ng GDPR sa EU, nainggit yung ibang bansa, gumawa rin sila. Right? It's an evolving process. So if you are telling me that hindi naman ako naka-Apple, so may nag-chat dito, sabi niya my subscribers are too poor for iPhone. So siguro now, hindi pa sila affected or you're not affected, but eventually, it will all catch up to us, whether or not your subscribers are Apple or Android users. Okay? So, tinakot lang kita. Kung pahinang hindi ka pa rin natatakot. So ito na, what do we do about it? Ando na yung doomsday. Sinabi ko na lahat ng what will potentially happen to all of us. We might lose our jobs. Huwag naman sana. But what do we do about it? How do we manage itong mga additional features na to? Can you give me some love nga ulit and type, ano ba? Ready. Para malaman natin what do we need to do. Ang gagawin ko. Ayan. Thank you guys. So how do we manage una yung mail privacy protection? So ito. Ito yung overview and then we'll go through each para mas merong tactical na pwedeng gawin ang bawat isa sa atin. Una, identify your winners. While we still have access to the open rate metric right now, meron pa siya. And it will take time for people to adopt iOS 15 Some experts say it will be around, the full adoption will be around June of 2022, but let's not wait that long. Let's identify the winners right now. So mamaya, tignan natin ano ba ibig sabihin ng identifying our winners. And then, adjust your goals. If part ng goals mo or part ng metrics ng business or ikaw as an email marketer ay open rates, it will still be there, but it will not be as accurate as we discussed earlier. So you need to adjust your goals. I-tweak mo yung goals mo to make sure na you are looking at the right metrics to give you an idea if your email marketing efforts is going well. And then, use other marketing data. Marami namang ibang other email marketing data with that we can use, other metrics. So let's go through them one by one. Una, identify your winners. What do we mean by that? We still have a few weeks before iOS is fully adopted dito sa Pilipinas and globally. There will be a trend. Hindi naman yung basta nag-update na lahat. It will take some time. But now that we still have okay or maayos na data, identify your winners na. So start A/B testing your email subject lines. This is most important sa mga flows or yung mga automated emails mo. If you have those and you want to test subject lines, do it now. Ngayon na nakikita mo pa yung open rates. Because when open rates flies out the door and hindi na siya accurate, hindi mo na matetest yun, right? So that's what you can do to identify your winners. Para kung may subject lines ka na iniisip na before but you're parang putting it off, test mo na ngayon habang meron ka pang open rates. Tapos, while you're there, test mo na rin ano yung subject lines that get more clicks. Kasi eventually open rates will vanish nga, diba? Or will be inaccurate. So test mo ano yung mga subject lines that will get more clicks. So when you're A/B testing, remember, only change one variable ng tinitest mo na email. So in this case, you're just testing subject lines. Huwag kang mag A/B test. So you have two emails. If you're not familiar with A/B testing, don't worry. We have a training there if you're part of KME radio specific A/B testing. But what you do with A/B testing is you pit two emails together and you change one variable sa kanila. So ito, what we're talking about here is just changing subject lines. Will this subject line get more clicks compared to this subject line? So, dalawang magkaibang subject line. But when you do this, when you A/B test, don't change anything other than what you're trying to test. So, if subject lines, yun lang ang palitan. Kasi tinetest mo, let's say, kung effective ba na itong subject line na to will get more clicks. Pero when you open the email, the two emails that you're trying to pit against each other, magkaiba naman sila ng call to action. So, it will not give you an accurate idea na it was the subject line that really made them click. So yun. And then, ngayon, make sure that your lists are clean. Gawin nyo na yung sunset flow nyo. Because, remember what the sunset flow is? It's to help clean your email list of people who are not engaging with you anymore. Hindi na nag-open ng emails mo. Hindi mo bibili. So do it now. Para habang you have the open rate metric, makita mo na lahat sila and then you can suppress them para pagpasok ng iOS15 and these new features, malinis na yung yung email list mo. Alright? Ano pa? So that's identifying your winners. Second is adjust your goals. Again, kung ang goals mo as an email marketer is increasing open rates, then you might want to change that to something more na mas accurate yung measurement, like click rates. And also adjust or revisit your engaged segment. Diba? Previously, we have an engaged segment na based on open rates. Part ng open rates yung sa segment na yun. Then maybe you can remove that and replace it with maybe click email in the last 30 days or active on-site in the last 7 days. Depende, the time frame is ikaw bahala. But maybe you can use viewed product, ordered product, started checkout. So those are the things that you can do to adjust your goals. Ano pa? Focus on click rates. Obviously, dahil hindi na pwede yung open rates, focus na tayo sa click rates. So ano pa? You can test A/B or you can A/B test copy and content. Tapos, isend mo sila doon sa nauna nating sinabi na expanded engage segment like ito. Bago mo isend sa the rest of the people. This is pag pag wala na yung open rate or pag sira na yung open rate metric, do this before you start sending emails to a bunch of sending emails to everyone else in your list. Test mo muna dun sa expanded segment mo, A-B test mo yung copy, then kung ano yung winning copy and content, email, subject lines, what have you. Kung ano yung winning, yun yung isend mo sa the rest of the people. That's adjusting your goals. Take note of your questions muna para dire-diretso tayo, then we'll use the rest of the time for answering questions. What else? Ano yung last? How can we adapt dun sa mail privacy feature? Feature ni iOS15. Use other marketing data. We have a lot. So pwede mong gamitin yung recency. Gaano siya kailan yung last na purchase niya. You can use the ordered product in the last X days na criteria or definitions sa segment. You can also use frequency. So how often, gaano kadalas siya bumibili from you? Especially if yung product mo ay fast-moving consumer goods. Kasi kung ref yan, malamang hindi madalas yung frequency ng pagbili niya. But if you're in the FMCG, then you can use this data, frequency. Let's say placed order is at least maybe 3 times in the last 30 days or 4 weeks or 1 month. Ikaw, depende sa'yo. You can also use value or order value or yung amount ng binili niya. If show me the people or give me a segment na ang revenue is total na kinita from that person, that subscriber, is greater than X over all time. Maybe you want to find sino yung mga talagang bili ng bili sa'yo. Or ang average order value mo lang. So each person na pumupunta sa site mo, average na in order nila, let's say, is 1,000 pesos worth. But you want to find yung super engaged segment, and you want to put a revenue na parang 1,500. Ibig sabihin nun, mas malaki yung binibili na compared to other people. Those are just some of the marketing data you can use. Ito pa, Review has what they call customer first data. And ang contrast nito is yung third-party data. These are data na na-obtain natin from cookies. Yan yung ginagawa natin pag nag-search tayo ng website, we open browsers before, nung wala pa yung app tracking, nakikita ng mga advertisers, ano yung ginagawa natin, which app we use, where we go, the third-party data. What they advocate now, Review, is getting customer first data. Ibig sabihin ng customer first data is first-hand information from the people themselves, meaning your customers, your subscribers. And how do you do that? You ask them, right? Sa email, ask them, let's say, ano yung favorite na color of t-shirt? What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Ano yung gusto mong position when you are sleeping if you're selling mattresses or pillows? Right? What time do you want me to send you emails? Right? What types of emails are you interested in? So instead of relying on their behavior or the subscribers' behavior, then ask them, right? And hindi mo naman to kailangan gawin in one email na parang pagkahaba-habang survey lahat na lang na, do you have wrinkles? Do you have fine lines? Do you drink this? Hindi naman. So you can do this eventually or gradually. You can even add some of these items sa sign-up form mo, right? And you can attach a property to that particular customer or profile para, let's say, nagbebenta ka ng candy. They prefer medyo salty candy over sour candy, so they can click that dun sa sign-up form. But yeah, customer first data. Just ask them, engage. Right? Ito naman, how do we manage naman yung hide my email na feature? Now, there isn't much we know with Hide My Email kasi nga it hasn't been rolled out yet, at least globally. So ako mismo, hindi ko siya matest. But para ma-manage siya, good marketing practices still apply. Right? Ano ba yun? Send relevant emails to relevant people. Send emails to people who said na they want your emails, right? It's a no-brainer. It's dapat sinusunod naman natin siya talaga. But sometimes we tend to forget and we just focus on sale. But yeah, let's go back to the basics and ethical, the Kenny way of email marketing. Ano pa? Build relationships. Right? Hindi yung puro benta na. Alam naman natin yan sa Kemi, but do we practice them? Maybe. I hope so. You guys are practicing that. And then embrace your brand. Leverage your brand's personality. Kasi now is not the time to be a generic brand like everyone else. Right? Leverage your brand's personality. If may nakita akong brands, kasi I follow some brands online, meron mga brands yung yung Brusco na ang binibenta kasi nila yung mga parang workout apparel and supplements. Yung personality nila talaga yung pag nakita ka sa yung nagkatingin lang kayo sa street, Google Paying kayo, parang ganun yung personality nila, and they embrace it. So they attract people na who like those kind of personality, and they support the brand, right? And meron namang mga let's say brand na talagang pro nature, mga vegan, ano ba? Basta yun. So embrace the personality of your brand. Again, hindi na syempre this doesn't rely on us kasi if we don't own the brand, but at least as an email marketer, as a strategist, give them insights. Diba? Na you can see, oy, ang taas ng click rates nitong email na to kasi sinabi natin, in-introduce natin yung yung founder and yung story niya. And then maybe we can highlight more of that story ng founder and the company and what we stand for. Right? Am I making sense so far, guys? Can you engage and type nga sa comments? Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, good. Okay, daming sumagot konti. Ayan, sige. Now let's move on to what will happen now. We know that this will not be the end of this battle, if you want to call it a battle, but I'd rather call it a revolution. What happens next? Because better days are ahead, and at the end of the day, we are all customers din naman. Even if we call ourselves marketers, tayo ay customers pa rin of a specific brand. And to be honest, I'm glad na Apple is pushing for these changes because I believe in the long run, this will benefit lahat tayo. And they are using their power, their influence to make it happen. Kasi if they're as greedy as everyone else, then wala na, di ba? No one will push for the sa ating mga small players lang. No one will take care of our privacy. So this includes you and I. We have other ways to adapt. So ito na yung better days na ahead. First is leverage omni-channel marketing. If your brand, if your client still doesn't believe na they should be in a lot of places, well, so don't get me wrong, hindi lang siya kunwari, gawa tayo ng Facebook page, gawa tayo ng Instagram, gawa tayo ng TikTok. You need to manage those platforms ng maayos. Not just yung pumunta ka lang dun just for the sake na andun ka sa lahat. So manage them. Pero make use of omni-channel marketing. Right? Kasi focusing on just one marketing channel, at least in this day and age or platform, is no longer acceptable. Again, nakita natin yan sa Facebook ads. When people were just relying on Facebook ads for their business and then iOS15 dropped, tapos kung ano-anong binaban ni Facebook ads, so ganda leche-leche. Now they're migrating, some of them are looking into email marketing to save their ass. Pero ngayon nagka-iOS 15 naman and on all that. So try omni-channel marketing. This is not a call to you guys para tumalon at maghanap ng ibang courses, mag-focus kayo sa keme, but be open. No? If you have other teammates within your client or the business you're supporting, and they have, let's say, meron kayong social media person, meron kayong Facebook ads person, get together, diba? And talk about it. Second, ito, parang cliche, no? Pero it's dapat ito naman yung ginagawa talaga. Listen to your customers, right? If you own a business, mga nagtatayo ng business dyan, or may business na kayo, if you're an email marketer, listen to your customers. Diba? Transactions doesn't end after nilang bumili. But engage your customers in conversations. Ask them what they want. Ask them what they don't want. Ano yung review nila sa product mo? What can you do better? Right? Listen to them kasi they are the lifeblood of our businesses, right? And then lastly is be the best option out there. Right? Whether that's the product, you have the best product potentially medyo mahirap na yon in this day and age na talagang yung product mo is the best because we know na globalized na ang manufacturing and you can get anything anywhere na mas cheaper. But again, diba, you still have that option to choose better products or better built, better ingredients ng mga products mo. And not just only that, improve on your customer experience. Be the best. Right? Pare-pareho man kayo ng binibenta pero ikaw yung pinaka-madaling kausap, pinaka-mabilis mag-deliver, ang ganda ng after-sales experience, you care about your customers, then diba, people will naturally gravitate towards your brand. You need to be the best. Right? Then I'd like to end this presentation with yung video ni Clavio about this very topic. And aware sila. So people are aware, the companies are aware, ESPs are aware of what's happening. And actually, I like it because nagkakaroon ng change. Right? It was started by Apple. Eventually, others will follow suit. But change for the better is always a good idea. So let's watch this.
Okay, it's time we had to talk. There's no easy way to say this, but here we go. Your business's relationship with third-party data is coming to an end. The way the marketing world has been using that data to connect with people without them exactly knowing, it feels a lot like stalking. And yes, we know it started off great, that connection just felt right, but it wasn't meant to last. Heck, it's making headlines. At Clavio, we're not here to judge. We've all got history with cookies. No, not these delicious morsels, but these digital ones. Intangible little lines of code that have been tracking customer data since 1994, back when the internet sounded like this, and ran like this, and dating on it, well, it usually resulted in a guy named Bob IMing you from his mom's basement. Cookies were originally designed to make the web a better place by making it more personal. But it took all of 2 minutes before talking turned to stalking. Basically, every brand exploited third-party data because cookies helped them say all the right things to all the right people. How'd they do it? They bought and combined cookies from any site willing to sell them it, forming semi-complete half-baked profiles of people that were disturbingly accurate, all to feed targeted campaigns that we both like but also hate. So let's pause right here and ask, this feels wrong, right? Yeah, we know it does. That's why the whole world is moving away from third-party data and moving into a new era of cookies with first-party data. Or as we like to call it, customer-first data, where brands engage with people one-on-one and let customers take control of their info, dictate what to share, and discover what others know about them. No more creeping, no more one-sided secrets, more consent, honesty, and real connections. In short, less stalking, more talking. And at Clavio, we understand that letting go is hard to do, but brands have an opportunity to create more value by saying goodbye to third-party data and hello customer-first data. Using customer-first data is not so different from the proper way to date. You ask about their interests, send a few emails, stay connected on social media, get their digits when it feels right, and let them decide if they want to text you or not. Sure, we've gotten used to this complicated relationship, but it's time for a reset. And we're here to help. So even if you don't partner with us, we urge you, do something. Adapt and grow so you can survive and thrive because your breakup with third-party data is happening. Own your data, own your growth. Don't miss out on your customer-first connections. Clavio.
And with that ends this presentation of the state of the email address iOS 15. Mic drop. Can you guys show me some love, no? Pakita naman kayo sa sa cam. Let me see you guys.